gentlemen, here's John and Danny.
Guys, welcome. I think of everything I'm going to miss is going to be the intro saying, here's John and Danny. And every week for the last 2 years, literally just cuts open to me. Actually, no, sometimes there's tech issues and it cuts to both of us or none of us. Guys, welcome to Grim After Dark, where we bring you the latest unreal news and unqualified analysis from the grim darkness of the far future. I'm your host, John. I'll be guiding you through the tumultuous events of the 41st millennium and beyond. So grab your dice, I didn't practice this week, assemble your miniatures, and get ready for some epic battles. It's going to get pretty grim after dark. Joining me on the show is my good friend and fellow Warhammer fanatic, is Danny McDevitt.
Hey, John.
Hey, what's up?
Well, it's a bittersweet night, of course.
It's a bittersweet night.
Yeah.
This is our last night on the Frontline Gaming Network. And I think the last night a lot of our listeners and watchers are going to bother to follow along with us. But that's okay. I think just our general bitterness towards people has been super helpful over the years. Danny, Val's also not here tonight.
Yeah.
Dickie's here. Dickie, you're still here, right?
I'm here.
Yep, cool. Yep. Awesome. So Dickie's here with us to round out this year, but we do have one more use of my favorite slide ever made, my highly professional photoshopping skills of where in the world is Val Heffelfinger. As you can see,
I like
lines.
I like that we reuse content too. That's great. That's wonderful.
Look,
hey, we're a green podcast, okay?
Oh.
We're going to reuse some of this content. In fact, we're going to reuse a lot of content.
Yeah. Okay.
As the primary writer of the content on this show, anytime I can reuse a bit, I'm all for it. But after last week, where was Val last week, Danny?
Antarctica?
Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Oh,
Guantanamo
that's
Bay.
right. I forgot. Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba. Val actually commented on the video, which means unlike Danny and I, he watches it. He said Guantanamo Bay is an even cheaper way to see Cuba. Is that also a very topical humor, guys? You know I love the Bush 2 administration.
So weird. All right, whatever.
So sequels are always better, or are they? Who knows? But Val didn't like that joke, so this week, this is what I got. This is where Val is. It's here. That's the joke.
Huh.
He's there.
What is that?
It's a rock.
Oh, okay.
No. I was. It was. Is he like an evil genius? Does he have like a lair now? No. All right.
No, he's just very cheap when it comes to travel plans. So he got a great
Really?
deal, and he's at the Rock.
Oh.
He's on the Rock, Danny. He's a Dark Angel now.
Yeah.
Not saying everyone jumps on the Space
That's
Marine
nice.
bandwagon, but man, we're going to talk about that coming up. I do have, before we get into the actual Warhammer content and talking, I do have this picture that my football team posted this week, which I loved. This would be me and Danny screaming at our listeners about the upcoming changes. Danny, you're laughing. What's going on?
Oh, it just, like, the guy yelling looks like Jason Butler, and the guy he's yelling at looks like Reese, and he's just yelling right into his
It
mouth.
so does. Oh.
So I will say the person yelling is Graham Shitty, a phenomenal football player. And then the Bojan Miovski.
Is he a quarterback?
No. Shinny is
Oh.
a midfielder.
Okay. The next
Bojan
question
Miovski.
was, is he a halfback? That's a position in soccer,
So
right?
next week, you're going to be able to find us on a different location. We can find Grim After Dark. If you go to tinyurl.com/grimdark40k, it'll take you to our new YouTube channel. We're going to start treating our Twitch viewers exactly like our podcast listeners and not really care about them, because we're going to be streaming
Wow.
exclusively.
Jesus, strong.
We're going to be streaming exclusively on YouTube going forward here,
Yeah.
so we can build up our base a little bit. And again, you can find us at tinyurl.com/grimdark40k. Danny, last week on Frontline, tell us about the last couple of years. Just summarize it in like 30 seconds.
Okay. As far as Frontline goes, I think they've released a new kind of in the last couple of years, they've released a new formulation of their anti-flea and tick medication for dogs.
Oh, I should be
you
more
mean
specific.
Frontline
I mean
Gaming.
Frontline Gaming. Yeah, not the other one there. If you could summarize how our time with Frontline Gaming Network.
Oh,
was the
sure.
last couple of years. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we come on every
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday night, and
It used to be Tuesday.
You did used to be Tuesday. Remember?
Do you remember? They asked us to move nights so as to not be on the same night as Chapter Tactics.
Perfect. Yeah, good, solid businesses really panned out. But we came on for an hour, maybe sometimes more. We used to interview people, but we stopped doing that because nobody
booking people's hard.
People didn't like that as much. I don't know. And
people
then,
liked it.
Or we didn't like it. One of those.
Yeah, I think it was hard. That was the reason it stopped.
It was just easier to just do reactions, I guess, to things, and for me to explain Seinfeld memes. Is that kind of how it?
That's super easy doing that. I'm not going to lie to you. Also, like, there was a weird thing where like people were really liking like the first half when we were just like shitting on the community and kind of reacting to things, and then we'd have like a super hard tonal shift right in the middle. Then we get super serious towards the end.
Transition was hard.
Transition was hard, so that's why we're starting with the kind of serious things, but we're making it with memes there. But yeah, we started with Brad Chester, so it only feels right that we have a Brad Chester meme or two in this episode.
Oh, great.
I'm very excited for that there. But yeah, let's move on here. This is a fantastic thing. I will say we're going to throw up this meme here real quick as a standard one now that we have to.
We have to put this one.
Warning.
Shit.
We have to put this up as actual discussion of the game of Warhammer 40,000 ahead. This is kind of in place of our what's getting released because nothing really is coming out for Warhammer this week. It's all AOS or Warcry or things like that.
Necromunda or something
this week.
Yeah,
Necromunda things.
You know, all those new Marine kits come out this week, right?
Oh, I meant for pre-order this Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
We're gonna talk. I said last week that they were coming out there. But it is Nerf Maris or nothing. You're right, Danny. And as we're looking here, the first of two new Marine units is our Desolation Squad. We want to thank our friends at Games Workshop for sending us this amazing. Well, Danny, you didn't assemble that Nerf Marine right there, though. If you can paint it like that,
I'm working on building them as we speak. I'm pretty excited to get these on the table. I think they're great.
Yeah, so there's been like a lot of mixed reactions. So since it's come out, Desolation Marines are 35 points a model. The Sergeant can take a 10-point upgrade to take it 45. People saying they're kind of too expensive. They're not really great on kind of a regular Primaris body. You're very excited about these guys, as Chad is calling them T-shirt cannon devastators.
Sure.
What is it that's making you so excited about them?
All right, so... and I think one of our friends put this in the best possible way and summed up my thoughts exactly. What if your Thunderfire cannon also just had Dark Lances? Because that's what essentially the super crack rocket, which is just, guys, come on. Could it be like named something else maybe instead of that? Like, that's just not a good name.
I'm okay with the super crack rocket. I think it's good.
Yeah, I know. You've always been down with super crack.
Yeah. I'm all about it. I'm all about super cracks.
Yeah, you know, I walked behind you an awful lot at LVO, and I saw a lot.
Get out! You shucks. Oh shucks.
We know that's true because he was never allowed to leave.
Yeah, I was never standing up.
Well, the back on that chair was open, and let me tell you. I really like these guys. I think they're pretty versatile. They're really great in armies that kind of get to ignore that heavy penalty. Of course, you can always spend 2 command points and make them counter stationary, but in stuff other than Iron Hands, like that seems like a lot. I think they're okay in Dark Angels because you can give them a 4+ invulnerable save from like Azrael. But Iron Hands is, I think, where they really shine because they can just walk around and blow stuff away. Each guy gets D3 shots with indirect. There's no stipulation they all have to target the same thing with their guns either, so they can blast away some chaff units that are behind cover. And since it is a blast D3 weapon, if they're over 6 models, you're getting 3 shots a dude. Iron Hands, of course, are rerolling 1s. It's easy to make them ballistic skill 2+ with like Farios. So there's a lot of really good like synergy there, I think. Are they expensive for the body? Yeah, absolutely. But they are Primaris, so you can transhuman them, which definitely increases their durability. I think that is probably the best way to play them as Iron Hands, but I think there's be some play maybe in like Imperial Fists, and also into like Dark Angels. I think is fine too, because they can just stand still for +1 to hit, so they're hitting on 3, back to hitting on 3s again anyway.
So I guess which chapter does not want these? Like you said, it works really well for Iron Hands. It works well a couple other ones. Is there any chapter where you're like, this is not going to work?
They're good in Space Wolves too, actually, because Space Wolves can do keen senses and they can ignore all the penalties, which is great. Anyway, I think they're probably like less good in something like Blood Angels, or stuffing or White Scars.
Yeah.
Although, funnily enough, you could make them all assault weapons, and then like advance up and shoot them at no penalty. So that's like something that you can do too. It just requires that CP expenditure. And they really, I don't think, want to be getting closer. But hey, whatever.
And then just kind of round this up for the Desolation Squad. What are your tactics for them? How are you using them on the
I'm going to hide them. I actually, I made a list. I was thinking about running a normal repulsor, which you probably haven't ever seen on the table, but you can just, I mean, look, that's a lot of points. You're talking about like 370, 380 points, depending on what your options are. So that's pretty spendy for what you're doing, but the repulsor is not like terrible for its cost. And you can hide it pretty easily. Whereas I think it would be tougher to hide 10 Marines.
You can combat,
but yeah, I think
right?
I think they're fine. They're not like the best unit in the world, but I think they're kind of cool, and there's some cool play you can do with them.
Yes. So and then Dickie, thoughts on Desolation Squad as somebody that's probably going to be facing some?
They're gonna die to 8-bound pretty good, so I'm excited. And I was gonna say you can combat squad them, right? So
you can,
yeah. That's an interest, yeah. And it looks like they would have all the same buffs and stuff. So I mean, yeah, why the heck not?
So I guess the thing to remember is when you're playing Dickie with your Desolation Squad is keep them
with your playing with the Dickie.
20.
Okay.
Where you keep them. We can't do that until next week.
Okay.
We're 24. Keep
so
them more than 24 inches away. Yeah, absolutely. The new unit number 2 coming is the very comically named, and this is coming from a Desolation Squad, but the Brutalis dreadnought. Daddy, this Brutalis dreadnought is coming in. He's double fisting things. So I expect this to be a very mature discussion about the Brutalis dread. Why don't you give us a quick overview of Brutalis?
So if you've ever wanted your Redemptor Dreadnought to like Thundercleese off just a unit right off the table, like this is the Dreadnought for you. Just that double punch combo that he has going on. I think I don't know. I'm kind of torn on him. I guess it depends on what chapter you're running him as, whether you want to do the Lightning Claw equivalent or if you want to do the fists. I think mostly the Lightning Claws are better, but if you have a lot of shooting or like your Imperial Fists, I think the Bolters are like a neat option because he does get like 8 AP1 bolter shots, which is pretty cool. So AP2 and rapid fire doctrine, which is kind of nice. And if he has the twin lightning claws, man, does he get a lot of attacks?
Yeah.
But otherwise, one thing I was kind of disappointed about this model. I was really hoping they were going to make him toughness 8.
Right.
Toughness 7 with a 3+ is not super survivable.
-1 damage though, but yeah.
Yeah, -1 damage. Yeah, he's got that just like a normal dread.
Yeah.
You know what's super cool, and chat pointed this out as well, is like, what if he just had a 5-up invuln because he's a Black Templar?
That'd be cool. That's always a good option. Just what if you had a 5-up invuln?
I mean, obviously, there's other vows that Black Templars can take.
No, there's not.
Apparently, I thought you just had the 5-up invul mini transhuman, but there's like 3 whole other ones on there. Who are the same page as well? Who knows?
I don't believe you. You're going to need to show me some evidence. I've never seen those before.
I refuse, yeah. My brain just blanks out at that page of the codex and goes straight to the one option that you should be taking. So is this sort of a classic thing where this is going to work best in like Blood Angels, Space Wolves, like the assaulty ones there? Or does it have a place in sort of other marine?
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
armies?
I think he's okay in Iron Hands because you can give him. I mean, he's double wound profile, that kind of thing, depending on whether or not you're running a successor Iron Hands chapter, which is good too. But yeah, just him walking around, he's okay. He's also more expensive than a Redemptor, which I don't really understand why he's more. I guess if he's got 2 multi-meltas, so that's something.
It's fists. It's
Well,
always
He's got titty
always
meltas.
costs more
John.
to. He's got titty melta.
He's got titty meltas. Yep.
Oh my gosh, the Rule 34 artists are going to go crazy on this.
Some
Big
hot
Papa
slag coming
SC
out of those nipples.
pointing out that as of next week, they will no longer be under the oppressive regime of Nightbot, the auto chat moderation. And while that is true, you're also on Twitch right now, so you'll be free of the oppressive regime
of our
of
show.
Grim After Dark.
Just in general. Yeah.
We will be exclusively on YouTube for the foreseeable future. But what I did love is Warhammer Community did do a great article along the vein of things they've done when they've had these like powerful close combat models come out. They had a Brutalis Dread versus competition where they put it up against like a bunch of things to see what kind of punishment it could take. And Dickie, throw up that slide they used for that.
Oh
wait,
Oh,
no,
John.
boy,
Come on, man.
no, that is
Jesus Christ.
that was not the.
That was
correct
saved for
slide.
next
Whoops.
week, I thought.
Yeah, that was. I think
That
was
is
next,
not the right slide. If you want to put up the next one, the right one,
that one.
there we go. I mean, guys, I see the same picture. I don't know what you're talking about here.
It's close, yeah.
It's close.
I don't know what to say to that.
Poor little dreadnought, the entire world out to get him. They did a lot of really cool things here, Dickie. I know you have the thing going, the article up right now in the background. If you could do like the signals for us. There was chats going in like, oh, YouTube is no longer an option, and we went out swinging. Oh no, we didn't. So yeah, it went up against the Death Dread. So if you want to play that thing, I got to the Death Dread.
Bonk.
Did you know? Until I was writing this show, I had no idea that these little things were actually videos and not just pictures of the models that they were fighting. So
did they do this for all of them?
It looks like they did them for all.
So let's go to the carnivore.
Yeah.
So we're 1-0. We beat the carnivore.
Yeah.
It's not even a carnivore.
That's so true.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
not. It's just.
Oh no. Community. Boop. Oh. You got him.
I liked how he did a front flip into that guy.
Yeah, you have to. It's like an elbow thing. Brutalicity. And then he went up against a. This was a good one. The Carnifex. How do you think he did against the Carnifex, Danny?
I think the model is going to randomly flip into the Carnifex and knock it out of frame, and it's going to say Brutalicity.
Okay,
Let's see.
Let's see.
Oh,
we hit the screen. Oh, question mark.
Oh.
Wow.
Something fights on death, right?
I guess. Yeah,
So
they can't
technically
fight
that was a draw techically because
yeah.
it did murder the Carnifex, but the Carnifex murdered it in return.
That's surprising.
And then finally, it was up against a Mauler Fiend.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Spoilers! It's a Brutalicity, but at least this time they remembered that the Mauler Fiend has an invuln.
Oh no!
Oh, he stomped it from the top rope.
From the top rope. So Joel Atkins coming in. So guess this was made by third graders for third graders. I'll have you know, Joel, Danny and I both are in our late 30s. And as for the Warhammer community thing, this was the fact that I was actually super impressed with these, and they did make me chuckle. Which again, when you're a Warcom writer and like, hey, we need you to do another Versus article where you just stomp on a bunch of chaos things for no reason. They're like, okay, but let's have some fun with it. Do I have a budget? Do I have a budget for this? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, I guess I can just like Adobe animate some things. Like, cool. We also don't have a license for that, so use your own.
Oh god.
Oh. You have Adobe at home. We don't need
Adobe at home. Adobe Home is just brutality.
And you're gonna have to do it over the weekend. We need a Monday.
Yeah, we need it Monday.
Oh, Dickie, you're going to be hearing that so much going
Oh,
forward.
I've
Not
been
even
hearing
right.
it already. Yeah, no, it's exciting.
You do.
Good.
I have. You're right. Holy cow. He's like, Seth, please take me back. But Seth's already made you an in memoriam video.
Yeah,
so you
he's
can
already
go back
killed.
and
He
see-
already literally killed me on the show.
He killed you off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wrote you
you're
out of the
dead,
show.
yeah. No,
No. And you were going to go back too. Anyway, Frontline, not just the producer of quality podcasts for at least 30 more minutes. They
Ooh.
also, Danny, I don't know if you know this, they run tournaments, large-scale tournaments for people to go
No,
to
they
as
don't.
well.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
yeah.
And this weekend showed the first major tournament post-LVO of 2023 with the 2023 Cherokee Open. Sorry, just for our podcast listeners, Daddy, I heard you laughing.
I love
Oh my
this
god!
so
yeah,
much.
So this
I
is a picture of the title of Cherokee Open, and then Brad Chester with his hand out, like, I thought this was America.
This guy's trying to get money or something. Yeah. He's like, man, he
Come
looks
on.
very like he's got a white shirt on, a dinner jacket, a blazer, some jeans.
Yeah.
I mean, it's untucked, but
Yeah, I mean-
I would also be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And this is this is a picture from Joe's War Games live stream, and I just took the background out, obviously, but I love this picture because, as Danny, as you pointed out, this is. I'm sorry, like I thought we were playing Warhammer here. Like, what are you doing? It's such good BDE or Brad Dick energy.
Oh.
Yeah. I love
That's
it,
Not the
but-
D I was thinking of, but okay.
Yeah, I was waiting for something other.
But anyway, as the first major event came in, it's also the recipient of the first FLG golden ticket for Warhammer Open Circuit, and this is an actual photo of winner Stephen Crowley, who won the golden ticket for this event.
It's really
So
coming in
young.
One.
He's young. He's colored too. That's great.
What?
Yep,
So he's in color. He's in color.
Oh,
Jesus
Remember,
Christ.
Dickie's in Canada.
Ooh.
That'd be something different. Up
they
there.
can use that in Canada still.
Oh
actually.
my God.
That's fine.
How did this show last for this long? Oh my God.
I don't know, man. Why do you keep saying this?
Jesus. Oh, edit
Sorry,
that
we're
out.
taking
Edit that
that
out.
out.
No, we'll get that in the edit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's on the whiteboard. Edit it out.
Yeah.
Dickie's.
yeah.
God. Just for our podcast listeners, this is
yeah.
a picture of the kid from Willy Wonka. I don't remember his name. Receiving
Charlie.
the golden ticket.
Jacob Marley.
Yeah.
Jacob
What?
Marley.
That's his name?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Yeah.
How do you know that?
Well, I'm clearly really good at this.
Did you just look it up?
Obvi-
No, I didn't look it up at all.
Oh, okay, perfect. So yeah, Stephen Crowley wins the Cherokee Open, wins the golden ticket for this with Dark Angels.
Hell yeah.
Danny, Stephen Crowley is not necessarily a household name in the way that Art of War, who just decided to show up and win events for the past year plus, have been doing. Tell me what you know about Stephen, apart from the fact he has beautiful golden hair. He is a small child.
Fair skinned. That's important
Fair
to say.
skin.
Fair skin.
Dickie finds it very important to point out.
Jesus. Jesus.
Dickie needs to check his
Oh,
color.
I need
his color
I need
vision.
a lawyer. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you really do, actually.
Yeah.
Or maybe a publicist. One of those two things.
I should stop talking on podcasts is what it sounds like.
Or what about you just split off with us and do it way
Okay,
more?
this is great. And like
Perfect.
take the bars off. Great. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, we've got a home for you where we're going.
Yeah. But Steven is coming in, and he won with Deathwing. Which
Yep.
are you surprised to see kind of a Deathwing Dark Angels list kind of take top spot?
I'm surprised this
Cherokee?
won. I'm not surprised that it did well. I think Deathwing is really in a really good place. All those Terminators are OBSEC, of course. He's got a lot of Terminators. He has 34 Terminators in this list. So 3 squads of 10, all with Underhammer Storm Shields. And then they also have 2 Cyclones in each squad. and he's got a whole bevy of characters, including I think he's got 5
Bevy?
characters on this list. A bevy.
Does he not know that assassinate? That's maximum assassinate points.
Well,
holy cow!
It turns out when all your
Amateur
characters
hour
get
here.
transhuman for free, John, they're probably pretty hard to kill.
So I have a bone to pick, and maybe Danny, you can help me out with this. So
Okay,
looking at the picture again, after playing that list, he's smiling at the end of it. How is that possible? Because that list, you shouldn't be smiling at the end of that.
Because he's
Really?
got a
Why?
golden ticket.
Dude, how many Terminators?
34?
He's a bad person doing that.
Why?
That's a terrifying list. Oh my gosh.
Look, I love that
Oh.
as a competitive community, that we're just really open and accepting to new people, or maybe names we possibly haven't heard before, and we just don't jump down and call them awful people.
Okay.
Because they're playing what's competitive at the time.
I do want to make so Jacob Marley is not his name, Danny. I'm sorry. I tried to pull a fast one over you.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. The movie is actually called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, so I believe his name is Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie
Interesting.
Bucket.
What's
Yeah.
his? Really, is that his last name?
I
Bucket?
believe it is Bucket, yes.
Because he's a poor, and they make you do common things. All of his
Sure.
grandparents share the same bad, massive Roald Dahl.
Yeah,
channel.
we should actually we should get Peter on and do a whole review of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory one day.
Is he a member of the Glensdale Bucket family?
No, they're British.
Oh.
You can tell by his teeth. But the thing to
Sounds good.
yeah, like
Teeth
this
look
is going to be
fine.
our. This is going to be, by the way, our coverage of the GW circuit finale.
This is gonna
It's
be
just
great.
we're gonna get Pete the Falcon on.
Yeah.
We're just gonna review the book Charlie and the Chocolate
Oh, the
Factory.
book, not even the movie. I don't know if you'll commit.
No,
to that.
no, the book version. Or the original
Wow.
60s one, and we'll just talk about the songs and the slave labor that's in usage to create the product. And of course, we're talking about
Jesus.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We're in no way referring to Games Workshop. But yeah, just Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's what we're going to be doing for the GW Opens. But yeah, you believe so. This is one event in. Obviously, Brad Chester now a big part of Death or Glory as a team. Death or Glory as a team did real well at Cherokee. With just even looking here, they came first, second, and fifth. Is this going to be the team, do you think, that's going to take over Art of War's dominance on the ITC circuit? I know I said ITC circuit, which is a redundant word, but still, please.
The what?
the International Tournament Circuit.
Yeah, the what?
Is that a
The
thing?
circuit?
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
And that's why they were fired.
are we doing that? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. We all know circuits in your binder. We're not allowed to say that word.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Let me rephrase this then. So, will Death and Glory be just the bestest Warhammer friends this year, playing games in a ring type event structure?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's hard to say after one event, but I mean they've got good
Wild-
players apparently.
Yeah, wild speculation is our forte.
So let's say yes.
Yes, absolutely. Death or Glory. Glory, hopefully.
The new team to beat. Better than Art of War. You heard it here, guys. That's what John
you
Quennell says. Death or Glory, better than Art of War. You can quote him on that.
You can, yeah. And you can hear my rebuttal to that next week, right here on the Frontline Gaming Network. Number 2 was also Death and Glory. It was good friend Brad Chester, who came in second with Space Wolves, losing only, of course, to winner Stephen Crawley. Do we have that picture of second place? There we go. Wow. Perfect.
That's a drastically different picture than the first one that you showed.
Oh yeah, because he didn't win the golden ticket.
Yeah.
So he was removed from the tournament.
He was rolled out. He was rolled out of the tournament.
Blueberry.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Snosbury. That's something else.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. It was chewing gum. That's his vice. That's his only vice is chewing gum.
The only vice
that's his vice
that Brad Chester is known for.
Yeah.
Only
Brad, came in second with Space Wolves. Danny, are you surprised that we're seeing not the Brett Chester's? I mean, he's a really great player, but now 2 Marine armies sort of in our top there. Are you surprised that that's what we're seeing?
There's like
post,
300 free points of war gear in Brad Chester's list, so like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, no, it's very good. MSU, like the fact that Wolfguard have so many options that they don't have to pay for or pay super reduced prices for, means that you can do stuff like have a squad of 5 guys with combi meltas and power fists, and it's like 140 points. So
yeah,
it's a lot of versatility. He's got a lot of anti-tank and just a lot of pretty good assault in this list. So yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah. And then, Dickie, are you seeing that as well? Sort of like post Ark of Omens, Space Marines getting this like huge buff. Again, their win rate was in the garbage from our friends in StatCheck pre Ark of Omen. Do you see this as like an overcorrection now, where again we're getting, like Danny said, 300-400 points of free war gear, and then you had some other kind of things they were saying Ark did for Space Marines?
Yeah, so like giving them the sticky objective deal, them obviously having the ability to, you can't deep strike around them, right? Or you get shot and also you can't do it within 12. And yeah, Danny hit the nail on the head, like giving them like 300 and something points of free gear. Haven't we been down this road before? I feel like
it's one of the horsemen.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's the horsemen at the end of the edition is Space Marines getting 25% of their army for free, on a bunch of really weird, powerful characters coming out right at the end. Which, Dickie, how is Angron doing for you?
How is
okay?
Angron doing with me?
Yeah.
He's currently gray and sitting beside me, where he will probably sit for a while because it's so hard to get him on the table and keep him on the goddamn table. So
yeah, but he is fun.
Oh. He is a capital F when it comes to fun. Yeah.
Just a little
capital
F. Little fun guy.
Yeah. Capital F.
A little mushroom.
Fun guy.
Yeah.
Danny, I did this next one here for you, and I called it your pick of the tournament. I know you didn't have any say in this, but like regardless, I believe this is the one you want to talk about. You want to pull up this next.
Oh man, do I ever want to talk about? Oh, this is me, by the way.
This was
literally.
Walter Langendorf, representing Tabletop Life, came in 8th, so he made the cutoff, but lost to John Lennon in the first post-split game. Danny, tell me, what are we looking at picture-wise? Why did I decide to make this picture?
This guy is the biggest Chad you've ever seen in your entire life.
Chad!
Unbelievable how much power this guy must store in his balls. Like, unbelievable. So this list is triple monolith, triple obelisk, gives 0 Fs. Like, he is unbelievable. This guy wins Triangle Champion 2023 from me. For now,
that's all
he won. Oh my god, dude! Like, he just like I was really sad. I posted on Art Awards page that I was really hurt that John Lennon decided to ruin this total champions
this guy's dream
by beating him, which is bullshit. Thanks, John.
He should have just seen that list and been like, no, you deserve this.
I quit. You made top 8 with triple monolith, triple obelisk, which has been arguably the worst model in Necrons forever. Like,
Danny, what did you take to LPO 2021? By the way,
what am I taking to I took one monolith.
I thought you took triple monolith.
No, I only took one.
No,
it was only one.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah, I didn't go hard monolith enough. So
do you guys think, because this is a weird list and it's great that it went like to the top 8, it made the cutoff.
Yeah.
But the Ark of Omens detachment is something that allowed a list like this to exist in the first place, and its bizarreness. How weird do you think we're going to get army construction wise with Ark of Omens?
Baby, it's going to get real weird. And I'm here for it, to be honest. Let's make it as weird as possible. I'm excited to see units that I haven't seen before. Like I said, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I'll take a repulsor. Who knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Like, there's so many different options that you have in this new format where you can maintain CP but still have like basically whatever you want in your detachment. It's wild. Now, does this skew the game a little bit? Probably. Does it make it more deadly? Yeah, sure.
You can sort of argue, though, that the game was sort of getting boring before Ark of Omens. Like, I found Nephilim to be pretty dull game-wise. Like,
Yeah.
you're still playing, you're rolling dice, it's fun. Army construction was kind of dull because you're like, well, I want to do this, but then I have to do this.
But
So.
I've got to fit everything into one detachment because, like, I
Right.
don't want to spend CP on another detachment
Mm.
because I have so little to spend in the first place. So I think they really did a pretty good job here of making sure that you can field what you want and not have to lose a ton of CP. Now, did they go overboard maybe without like requiring some troops choices or something like that? Yeah, maybe. But that's not for me to decide.
How
I
does
think
it
it's probably
feel?
it's better than Nephilim though. I think so, 100%.
Oh, yeah. How does it feel, though, that GW has finally got you to play open play? Or just take whatever you want. It doesn't
Well,
matter.
first of all, I don't mind open play. Second of all, Kelsey Ito, you can die in all of the fires. If you bring that, I will straight up throw your Marauder destroyers right off the table because I hate those models. I think they are terrible for the game. Yeah.
But
sorry, man.
that
Kelsey,
says
by
the
way,
guy that
has-
was like, I'm all for weird stuff, but I'll throw this guy's models in the garbage.
But that guy, I hate it. It's garbage.
So Kelsey, by the way, the fantastically friendly gentleman who gave up his
so
entire LVO weekend to take some amazing photos. Any nice photo you see from LVO, it's
It's all
Kelsey
him.
that Danny was just.
Yeah.
He was saying Kelsey's comment that Danny so balanced reacted in a very balanced and nuanced way to
Awful.
was he was going to take triple Marauder destroyers, which Danny is just. Chat, take note for next week when we're a little bit unfiltered. That gets Danny rage.
Yeah.
Also, Dickie, for your notebook, let's add in a graphic for Danny's Giga Chat of the
Word.
week.
It's already in
Oh, yeah.
there.
Like a Giga Chat of the week, I think is a great thing. So just do random people.
Yep.
And that would be pretty cool. Also, someone pointed out, Danny, does this break the rules that someone took 3 monoliths, even though the number of monoliths you should take is clearly in the name when it said mono,
Oh.
which I believe is Italian for one.
I think... Sure. Great. Thank you for that.
What a lead in.
You know what, John? Thanks for that comment. I think
welcome.
you've said everything I need to. I can't really add on to that,
Yeah.
nor combat your flawless logic. You win. You win this round.
I
my
know
friend.
it's
I
a good
concede to you.
comment that bugs you when you're just like, I'm not even responding to that.
I'm not playing your game anymore.
Oh,
Ugh.
Kelsey says, see you in Tacoma, by the way, Danny.
Oh,
So it's
fuck.
always good. Danny and I will both be competing. Well, Danny will be competing at GW Tacoma. I'll be hating myself in the mid-tables.
I'll be doing the best I can.
Yeah, I will be mad that I'm 2-4. Anyway, last thing we want to talk about, which is actual kind of serious, not serious game discussion here, but Danny, I have this here as a shooting phase versus assault phase discussion. But in my questions, it's really just this is our love letter to the assault phase, and shooting is for nerds. So what are we looking at here?
Well, this is a Pepe the Frog meme,
Yeah.
which is potentially problematic in itself, but we're going to skip over that.
Yeah.
It's a combination of the virgin shooting phase compared to the Chad fight phase, kind of a variation of that meme, saying shooting.
You know
with-
where I found this meme, by the way?
Where's that?
It's the Best in Tabletop Network's Discord.
Oof.
Ugh.
I honestly don't really think fighting like close combat armies are that much more complicated to play than shooting armies. I mean, there's maybe a slightly more nuance to it, but I think you have to know the assault phase very well to win as a shooting army anyway.
Yeah. Let's.
I don't
we can get
appreciate
that
the
off the
stink
script.
lines, though. I will say that.
But yeah, so shooting phase versus assault phase. I mean, they're obviously the two phases of the game primarily where your damage output goes. And we have armies like Tau that are skewed to the shooting phase. Dickie's a World Eater skewed to the sort of the fight phase. What are sort of the primary differences in your eyes, Danny, between the two? Apart from obviously one is shooty pew pew far away, and one is punch punch smash close.
So I'm sorry. Wait, what? You're asking me to tell you the difference between a shooting army and a close combat army, and you just said what
so
the
like-
difference was?
Gameplay wise, right? So, what does the fight phase offer that the shooting phase doesn't? Like
Okay.
things like that. That's a better way to phrase it without
There you
using
go.
tiny words.
Okay, so first of all, I think that you shouldn't play either army like either subtype exclusively. I think it's really important to have both aspects in your army like all the time. I'm
Sorry,
kind of a
Dickie.
really
Yeah.
every phase kind of a player. Those are my favorite kinds of armies. But I will say, what the fight phase gives you is the ability to move twice, essentially, with charge moves and then consolidations and pile-ins. So you really can get a lot of movement over a pretty for doing what you were going to do anyway, which is kind of just a snowball effect of making it into assault.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Gonna say, and like I will say, and the reason I put this up here is you taught me this love of the assault phase for that, because it's not really the assault phase. I think, what was the name you said it was?
The second movement phase.
Do you remember? It's a free movement phase.
Yeah.
Because
Sometimes.
like even if your little dwarfies or your little Votan move like 5 inches, that's just a movement,
That's
buddy.
all I
They're
need,
only
baby.
restricted one phase, yeah. So you need, but like in your assault phase, you get like what a average 6 to 8 inch charge roughly. So that's more than your base movement, and then you get
that's
a
way
3-inch
more than
consolidate. That's 3-inch consolidate, which is closer to average.
Yeah, there we
but
go.
not quite.
Close.
Also, the other thing I love about the fight phase and the assault phase in general is it's really the only time you see you're able to reactionarily move or do things in your opponent's turn. Like, sure, there's some stratagems and things you can do, but through positioning, like heroic intervention or things like that, allow you to sort of dictate some of how that's going to go. And really a game that's more primarily set up to be I go, you go.
Yeah, that's true. There's more interactivity there than just rolling saves and removing models, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just kind of picking which unit is going to go. I think that there's some of that same kind of like picking and choosing, though, that happens in the shooting phase, especially if you have like limited line of sight to your opponent's models, where you really have to pick which units you're going to fire in what order to make sure you can maximize the effect that they have, and that you're kind of picking the right targets for them, as opposed to assault, where you just kind of like mostly you're just pushing stuff in because your guys are good in assault against everything.
Yeah, I will say though, like I will like watching like really top players and things. It's the people who kind of get the assault phase is sort of the first thing I'm noticing, not necessarily the shooting phase. Like, you're correct. Like,
oh sure,
target priority is like awesome, but like it's really maximizing the assault phase. That made me.
I don't think that's true at all, because there's plenty of top players that don't play assault armies.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Like, I'm just saying from what I've seen from that, which I'm obviously not watching everyone, is like the assault phase is definitely something to maximize.
Oh yeah,
for your enjoyment. Yeah.
Yep.
It's an art form.
You should maximize your enjoyment of every phase, John. That's my that's my philosophy.
No, I
it's
refuse.
all different strokes for different folks, and like
buddy,
maximize your strokes. That's what I'm saying.
Buddy, look, I'm gonna be the guy who takes Chaos Knight Abominant and purposely the Obama. The Chaos Knight Obama.
Okay. Man, Chaos Knight Obama really scares me. That dude does so many drone strikes.
But I will take a
got him.
Oh, man. Got through. You got that one. Yeah, look at that force projective change. Yeah, but I'm gonna take a Corn upgrade on him, so there's no psychic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how dedicated I am to not enjoying every phase. Only one.
Thanks, Abominate.
It makes the game. I have to say, after playing World Eaters for a couple weeks, it makes the game go by so fast. If you don't have to worry about psychic shooting every once in a blue moon, it's charge and fight, baby. That's all we need to worry about. Man, those games go fast. Yeah.
Dude, I love one of the reasons I love, and also I'm stuck in the mid-tables because I love assault armies and I'm bad at shooting. Because Danny's right, if you're not good at both, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that when people pull out a chest clock against me, I'm just like, I'm not going to need that. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be at the bar before you said it, bro. Yeah.
I appreciate this other avenue of win path you've given me by you clocking yourself out, but I guarantee, win or lose, I'll be done in under an hour, which is the same thing I prep my wife with as well.
Yeah, jeez.
Danny,
Oh, 2 hours? Jesus.
win or lose, I'll be done in an hour.
Okay.
All right.
The Quennell guarantee.
Wow.
Hey, let's move on to something a little less serious.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Wow.
Wait, in this economy, for
Jeez
this
Louise.
show, I don't think so, man.
Little less serious. Goals. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Joel. Yeah, goals to go. I found a bunch of cool either conversions, models, paint jobs, things like that. I kind of want to go over it.
Yeah.
So we're going to
okay.
kind of, Danny, we're going to start everyone. Danny, you're going to describe what you're seeing. We're going to
Okay.
ask ourselves, is this cool? We're going to maybe talk about the skill level you would need to recreate it. We're going to ask if it's an improvement over the original, and then we're going to give it a very scientific score out of 10. So, Dickie, you want to bring up the first model I found? This guy here, Danny, what are we seeing?
So this is a model of Solar Leontis, Lord Solar Leontis, the new Imperial Guard horse character, for some reason who's not a centaur. I'll never understand.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this person has gone through and kind of green stuffed in filigree all around the model and added, looks like twisted wire like borders to like
Wow.
the different sections of the armor. It's wild.
So just for obviously our viewer and listeners,
not painted, by the way.
I understand the word. So just for the benefit of listeners and viewers, but what's filigree?
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, just obviously for viewers and listeners, not for me. But what's filigree?
Wow, great question. I can describe it, but I can't tell you like what that means. So it's like impressions or like patterns that are cast in
like
metal.
Robin Williams. Oh no. Okay. Patterns cast in metal. Sorry, I thought you said impressions. I went straight to kind of like celebrity impressions. Like that
Jesus
pizza chef.
Christ. Well, obviously they thought this model looked really plain, so they decided to fancy him up a little bit to like make squiggly metal lines all over his bare armor parts.
That's insane.
That's the best way I can describe it. All with green stuff.
Yeah.
And again, for a segment that's devoted to painting models, this model has 0 paint.
Oh, it's cool models. Yeah,
it's
that
cool.
was. Yeah, I will say this is the only time I'm ever going to say this. So feel free to clip this. But why didn't they just use Stormcast legs? Because there's a lot of filigree on the bottom and the pauldrons and things. And when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's a Stormcast leg.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably scale.
Fair. Well, we're going to... so is this an improvement over the original, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Very much so.
Yeah.
This is an excellent piece of modeling.
What score... Well, thank you for qualifying it as model and not me. What would you score it out of 10?
Go ahead, Danny. Hit me with your score.
It's an 8 for me.
It's an 8.
An 8? No, it's a good score. Well above average. Dickie?
7.5 for me.
7.5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
You just
a little
prices right me, Dickie?
Yeah.
$1. Crib Shadow and Chad giving it filigree out of 10, which is, I think, an appropriate score.
That's a good score.
Dang.
So
That's pretty
I called that one, I referred to that as Horse Boy, because in my tired writings, I couldn't remember his name. So I'm going to call this one Horse Boy Supreme, which is our next model we're going to look at here. Danny, what are we looking at?
All right. So in this model, they've taken Horse Boy, as John has so eloquently nicknamed him. And
So
this is not painted.
Horse Boy Supreme.
They've replaced Lord Solar Leontis's head with his horse's head, and the horse's head with Leontis's head. So
almost like a centaur.
No, this is not like no, John. That's not what a centaur is. Oh my god! All right. Anyway, so
it's about as close to a centaur as you're getting, though.
It's probably that's true.
Yeah.
Until I make mine.
Can I just say, is this cool?
No.
So I have one question, and maybe Danny can help me. Do you think it's a plastic, like how people have those plastic horse hats that they put on or masks? Do you think it's do you think it's a plastic horse mask, or do you think it's actually a horse head?
No, I think it's actually a horse head. I'm very literal though, so I could be reading less into this than I should be.
When you have a battle at 5, but a costume party at 10, this is how you ride to war.
Oh man.
Danny, what are some of the rules for this model if it was presented as is?
Oh, okay.
He has no
So
arms.
you have to
officially.
re-roll 6s to hit.
So officially, we have to tell the podcast that he has no arms. So he just has a horse head and no arms. So.
Well, so he just gets kicks, right? And I think that those probably have the same stats as a power
thematic.
sword. Have you ever seen how obscenely strong a horse is?
Yeah.
Horses are terrifying animals.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and I'm not going to get into how much I hate horses on here, but like,
I think this is the right time officially. I don't.
No, we're not. I'm not. That could be a whole episode by itself.
Oh, all right. Well.
By the way, guys,
But
next
I
week
could
is
sum it
gonna
up in like 4
rating
words.
horses.
It's their smell,
Uh-huh.
their power, their
Yeah.
evil nature, and their willingness to be enslaved.
Evil nature. You've met some really mean
Willingness
horses.
to be enslaved?
Yeah.
Yeah. Horses are much stronger than people. Do you think that they couldn't escape enslavement if they really wanted to?
But they like their shoes and their sugar cubes.
Oh.
Then they're idiots.
Oh, that's fair.
So there you go. There's a 5th point. There's stupidity.
No.
Well, we
That's
can
fair.
keep talking. Like, there's so many wrong things about horses. Anyway.
Oh my god. You lead a horse to water. So our next slide
because it's so stupid.
here is it's just trying to escape its enslavement, Danny. You just gave
Thank
it
you.
shit for not trying to escape its enslavement. But anyway,
Well,
this is,
you know, like if you just randomly like get stuff in your stomach that makes you die, like you're not a very cool animal. Like they're terrible. Anyway, let's
hey
move
buddy,
on.
have you heard of Tide Pods and kids from 10 years ago? Because yeah,
That was 10 years ago.
at least we are very old and out of
Oh.
touch of things. But anyway, this next one I'm calling Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Weapon Loadout. Tell me, what are we seeing here? This guy, Hamster Jammer, said, did
That's
I
really
put these together correctly? What are we seeing?
So in this image, again, unpainted models. I have to point that out. But we have what looks like an arm swap on a Primaris Lieutenant with Storm Shield, and Mastercrafted Power Sword and Neo Volkite Disruptor Pistol with a Royal Warden from Necrons. And so the Royal Warden has both the pistol and the shield and the sword on his back, as well as for some reason an iron halo. And then the Lieutenant has the Goss Destructor. I forgot what that thing is called. And then also he has the cloak from the Royal Warden on his back. It's terrible, and I don't like it. I would rate this a 2 out of 10. No, you know what? I would say 2 out of 10 for the effort that was put into like swapping the arms, but no, it's a 1 out of 10.
Oh.
Well, I will say Hobby Hammer coming in and letting us know. I didn't believe it, but I checked, and it was genuinely 10 years ago we were talking about kids eating Tide Pods. So the people that we were yelling at for being dumb for eating Tide Pods are now 18 or 19.
Or they have kids of their own.
Oh,
they could be 23 easily, man. They could be 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's the new Christopher Herrera lets us know it's the new Necrodermis Primaris Lieutenant.
Yeah.
And Joel thought that's how you build them, which is kind of par for the course with Joel. I will say though, looking at this, it is pretty cool. Like it's a really good quality swap. Like,
I would play Necrons if they had that.
What are some weapons, guys, from other factions that you wish you could use in your own armies?
Oh. Just guns? Any
just
guns?
A single gun for Dickie. Dickie's like a
can
full
I have,
gun, maybe?
One
Can I have
fucking
8
gun?
bound with like crisis suit weapons? Would that be okay?
Like, maybe a smidgen of more than 12-inch range, please,
Yeah, if you
without
could
taking
give me
a
something
Land Raider.
other than a bolt pistol, for the love of God, it would be great.
You can have a plasma pistol.
Number one, you guys have that now in spades because you just got access to Imperial armor today. So World Eaters have plenty of options for taking long-range weapons.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to buy another Leviathan Dreadnought. Come on now.
Simply steal one. Do a crime.
I would say, by Chaos Knights, I would like to have access to the Tau rail guns.
Oh,
or the Hammerhead guns. I think
Yeah.
it would look pretty cool, and also I would like to ignore invuln saves because they
Mhm.
make me scream.
Yeah, I want my Tau hammerheads to have vanquisher cannons.
Or just the turret rule would be cool.
Oh, man, if I got the turret rule, it's on.
Yeah.
Oh, so guys, out of 10 for these weapon swapped miscreants.
I'll go. I haven't gone in a while. That would
yeah.
be a 2, I think, for that.
2?
I'm still rating a 1.
You still went on a 1.
Still rating a 1.
Yep.
Fair. This next one here, I called Golden Shower of Pain. This is a casting someone did, which, by the way,
24.
that's theft. 24 karat gold and silver Swarmlord, which he cast.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very shiny. Danny, your head's in your hands. What's going on, buddy?
Are we going to see any painted models? I just want to know that. Like, is it coming?
Every single one does not have a single bit of paint.
This
on
is
it.
this is my new favorite segment. Can we do this every week where we just do something and then like just do something adjacent, close enough, but not what we said at all? I really want to do that. That would be hilarious.
We've literally done that for 2 years.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember when Val said we were doing like a late night style talk show? And just for the past year and a half, we've been like, nah, that sounds hard. Let's just do this.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. This looks dope. It's a Swarmlord that's totally golden and shiny.
It's
with
really
silver,
cool.
Bone sabers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actual gold.
Yeah.
Do you think he should have a worse
Allegedly.
save due to the softness of gold as a metal?
No.
No.
And here's why. Because
Okay,
gold.
thank God, because I was like, this is going to need interaction.
Because gold, while soft, is still harder than polystyrene plastic that they cast the normal Swarmlord out of.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Do you think he welded this together? Like melted the gold? I feel like he had to.
He would have to, right?
I think he probably used super glue and swore a whole ton. Like, there's a reason I think very specific angles are chosen, because I think there's a couple of spots where he's just like, "Ugh," and there's like a gold, like
he ran
a
out
super
of
glue
gold
wedge. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, in this economy, like you're choosing Tyranids,
Yeah.
Golden Swarmlord.
Tyranids now?
Oh God.
I wonder how much that model weighs. Like, you definitely can't put it on the second level of anything.
No.
Also, it doesn't have
someone said
wings. Oh, it's
it's a
Swarmlord.
Swarmlord.
Oh, yeah, the Swarmlord. Yeah, I would keep thinking of the Reaper guy.
Chat's coming in with the real information because I just see pictures and then just screenshot them and then sometimes leave a name in. Andrew DeSalt, it was a silver cast with gold coating.
And then Joel also saying it's lead underneath and just plated.
Which quality? I mean, really big throwback to old GW, just having solid lead miniatures.
Someone gave it a 1 out of 10 because it's not organic.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
I mean, yeah, gold's a natural thing, though, right? This is just okay. This is like taking.
Yeah.
Sorry, Danny, go.
Well, organic doesn't necessarily isn't the same as natural, of course.
Yeah,
that's of course. This is, though, I believe, kind of implying that Tyranids live by the rules from Wreck-It Ralph. Where the bad guy insects just turned into whatever they ate. So when a Tyranid devours a planet, it just turns into whatever it eats. So this one
just ate a shrine world.
Just ate a shrine world or a jewelry store on a hive world.
Store.
You don't want to meet the Carnifex who made it to the sanitation level because he's no good times. But apparently it's worth around $300-ish or one Australian Swarmlord.
Oh.
Our last one here, Danny, you'll be happy to know, is painted. It's not.
It's not.
This guy here.
I was just gonna say, don't let him. Yeah.
Boop. What are we looking at?
Come on. All right, so this is one of those extra knight, like the bits that you can order for your knights. Well, most of these are cool. These are stupid as hell. And this is a couple of knights that are Krieg knights with shovels, and like they gave the little armiger like a fist so that he can, I don't know what, like double hand the shovel. Why does he even need that? He doesn't. This is
What?
terrible.
How often have you shoveled with one hand?
Yeah,
You need
what
two
kind
hands
of
to properly shovel.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
they
know you
use
have, like-
shovels to shovel, John, because they're
I
knights.
I know you have the soft hands of like a model or someone who doesn't use his hands a
I have
lot.
beautiful hands.
But you would need this, yeah. So this is kind of, again, taking that Krieg aesthetic, which, Daddy, you might be surprised. I hate the fact that everyone latches onto Krieg like this. It's like, oh, it has a shovel. And I'm like, cool. This guy has a chainsaw at the side of a house.
Look, people have been killing other people with shovels for millennia, so I think it's really not fair for Krieg to like kind of bogart that from everyone else.
Yeah, there's Catachan shovels. There's like ditch diggers in Valhalla, or snow diggers, if you will. But yeah, thoughts
Joel,
on this?
Hold on, I got to answer something in the
Okay.
chat. When has Danny shoveled? Danny shoveled a lot over the course of his life. I lived in Alaska for the majority, so I've shoveled a lot of fucking snow. Also, I laid foundations one summer as a high school student, so I did a lot of digging that summer as well. So I've
This
shoveled
was,
a
of course,
lot, and
this
that
was
was
back-
concrete mostly. But yeah,
This
done a
was
lot of
back
shoveling.
before backhoes were invented. So you had to do all of that digging up by hand.
It's right.
Well,
There were no backhoes. This was the early 1900s. No steam shovels, nothing.
Oh.
oh, yeah. So what I hate about this kit the most, I think, is, did you see the heads, the knight heads?
Why
Where
do
they-
they have gas masks?
They literally just upscaled a Krieg head and put the little knobby bit on the top so it fit in the knight. Yeah, this is awful. This is, by the way, if you love this kit as much as us, Tara Model Makers is where you buy these upgrades from, and you should encourage this. Danny, do you want to take a guess at where I've found this picture as a good Imperial Knight upgrade kit?
I don't know, some kind of Imperial Guard group.
If there was like one website that we've maybe made fun of before for just
Oh,
having really bad opinions and clickbaity articles, like say if someone was searching for like Chaos Knight upgrades just to try and make his second tyrant like a little different, what would
you
pop
found
up
this
if
on
you Googled?
FG. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Of course, this is from Spiky Bits.
It's from Spiky Bits. It is. It is. This is a good upgrade set. I do enjoy that this man spent his artistic talent and time, not Spiky Bits, the guy who made the model, but making this well-detailed shovel head and hand set. And then it was like, you know what will really sell this? Is if I put them, don't you ever talk to me or my son again pose. Because what Krieg is famed for in the fluff, and Danny, you can correct me on this. What Krieg is famed for in the fluff is familial values.
Yeah,
and the
that's what I was
value
going to say.
of human life and
Right.
protection. Yeah, awful. Dickie, any thoughts about this one here? Danny and I hate this, and we hate you if you like it.
I love it. I think it's
but
the
what do
best.
you think?
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I
Okay,
think it's
good.
silly.
Thank God. I really like you, Dickie, and I didn't want to.
I was
stop
gonna
that from
say I think I'll be
happening.
kicked off the show if I like this, so I'm gonna go with the no. No, I don't like it. I think
Oh.
it's silly.
It's silly. It is.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to do one more here. I went heavy on this. I didn't know how long it would take for us to make fun of all
Yeah,
of
it's
these
the
painted
finale.
models we got to look at
Yeah.
here. But this is what I want to leave us on here is, Danny, are you familiar with Mikey from Hellstorm Gaming?
I am.
Yeah. So he posted this here, said, today,
I like the aw.
today I did the unthinkable and upset both the Warhammer and the anime community at the same time. I will say it is entirely possible someone went in, cut out the original image in Photoshop, Googled anime Warhammer 40,000 porn, and then added the safest image he could find to this picture.
Yeah.
But you can tell this by the hashtag he used, which is World Eaters and Chainsaw Man. And that is neither a World Eater, a man, or a chainsaw. But, one, guys, stop drawing stuff like this, please. It makes us very embarrassed to tell people about the hobby that
Look
we're
at the
a part of.
disgust on Danny's face.
He's better than that, and he's
So-
better than this model. I know what model you're talking about.
But what is something that would anger both the anime and Warhammer community, aside from the company that produces the product they enjoy taking more of an interest in the product?
The initial thought that came to my head, this show would probably be the first one.
I was going to say the horrible instances of copyright infringement that people use to make terrible images.
Yeah, to be fair, and I want to be very clear here, Hellstorm Mikey did not post the image that I posted. That might have been doctored. I want to say it was absolutely the image was replaced.
Oh, we should talk about what the image was and why I'm so disappointed.
Oh, yeah, I love it. And then next week we can have Mikey on and we can forget we talked about it. Let's go. Perfect. So what was the image originally?
And it's an Eversor assassin with giant mommy milkers.
But still the skull face. Look at that smile.
Is that better or worse?
The term giant... No, I'm like, I don't want to go out on the term giant mommy milkers. Well...
And that's it. Oh, man.
Thanks, guys.
Talk about the original there. There's Chainsaw Man is the hashtag.
Oh, we should pull the image up. I don't think we've shown
I
it
literally don't have the original. I just have the one I photoshopped. Allegedly photoshopped.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll show
so
it
the
next
original model is an 8-pound with a Chainsaw Man head. So he's got a chainsaw for his face.
Oh, I did see that. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unpainted, though, too, Danny.
It was painted.
Was it painted? I saw the unpainted version. I
saw a painted version of this. It was very gory.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
I will say, everything will be unpainted from here on out. This is going to be
only
a
makes
show
sense.
in the
It only
future.
makes sense.
We're only going to focus and highlight unpainted models.
Perfect.
Perfect. But yeah, Danny, can you think of something that would irritate both the anime and Warhammer community in one sentence?
Man. Maybe some Rule 34 Kroot animation.
Why would that anger them?
That would make me mad. And I like both of those things. So I just assume everyone has the same taste as me. Isn't that obvious? Duh. Is that conceited?
I thought that going out on big mommy milkers was a bad idea, but
Kroot porn.
Going out, I really enjoy Roll 34 and Kroot.
And the weird thing about that too is you can get real dark with it with Kroot hounds and Kroot oxes because they're technically just Kroot. They've just devolved. So
man.
Well, it's been real, guys.
What a way
Thanks
to go
out. You'll not see me again.
Perfect. Guys, what a way to spend 2 wonderful years of our life creating almost 100 episodes of Grim After Dark. Before we go, I want to give a big thank you to Frontline Gaming for sponsoring us. And letting us post this nonsense on their networks for 2 years now. It's been a really great partnership. And moving forward, they're still going to be supporting our show, which, well, actually, up until tonight's episode, I don't know how it's going to be now.
Pretty sure we're done.
But
sorry, my bad.
But they're going to continue supporting our show. We really appreciate that. Please, anytime you want to buy anything, use the link in the comments here. It really does help out the show if you purchase your items from Frontline Gaming. And why wouldn't you? You get 15% off every day. Next week, like I said, if you're watching on Twitch, you won't see us anymore. We're done with Twitch. We're old men who are going to just stick to YouTube. And you can subscribe to our channel at tinyurl.com/grimdark40k. If just conversations about the morality of Kroot bestiality appeal to you, you can come find us there. Wonderful. If unpainted miniatures and Danny Rage appeals to you, you can find it there. if Dickie, slowly realizing what a terrible idea it was to leave Seth
Yeah.
behind,
Man.
is appealing to you.
This is a shock to the system right now. Yeah.
If you want to let Dickie know what a colored person is, please join us there.
Oh.
No! Damn it!
Oh.
No! Danny, Dickie, immediately pull up
Yeah.
slide 27. We're going to go out on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Danny, what are we looking at?
Wait. Wait, you gotta find it. I gotta find it. 27.
That's my lucky
Okay.
number, so this better be good.
27. What are we looking at?
I will
I'm
show
not
you.
sure yet.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Give it back. It's mine. No. It's a red armored space marine, chaos marine, with a thing of relish. I think it's a word bearer because the demon head on his shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Honestly, I don't get this at all. This seems bizarre, but I hate sweet relish with a passion.
So there's a little line of text from a book right underneath the picture there.
What does it say? I can't. Hold on. Let me.
It says,
let me maximize this. I can't read it.
Do you want me to enhance it somehow, or?
Oh, Argotol didn't share his brother's relish. Oh.
Thanks, Crypt, for the $2 super chat, man. Giant
For
mommy
real.
milker.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
or you guys have to say it. Remember that was the whole thing.
Giant.
Giant
Yeah,
mommy
there you go.
milkers.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Love it. Guys, that's it for season 1, I guess, guys, right, of Grim After Dark. Grim After Dark will be back next Monday at the same time. And we have so much cool stuff planned for you guys. We're super excited. Grim, whether you wanted to or not, it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
We're going to start doing some hanging paints. Guys, they're even talking over there about some square-based episodes of things. Specifically,
What?
getting out there. This is going to be the place to find the number 1 content for the old world, but also the number 69 content for Warhammer shit talking.
Nice.
Yeah.
1 through 68 is Discord.
Yeah.
But until next time, stay safe, stay Warhammered, and remember, it's pretty grim after dark. See you later.